Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 7 of Conversations with Cerny and McCurdy. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan McCurdy,
And I'm other Chris Cerny.
and we have another repeat guest. This time is Matthew Medeiros.
Hey guys, thanks for letting me come back on the show.
Of
Nice.
course.
This episode is going to be about financial literacy. So let's welcome our new guest. And would you like to reintroduce yourself this time?
Sure, yeah. In case no one saw the last episode.
Yeah.
So again, my name is Matthew Medeiros. Please call me Matt. But I know Chris and Ryan from TCNJ. But a little bit about me. Again, born and raised in New Jersey. Went to TCNJ, like I mentioned. After that, I started working with Merrill Lynch, part of their advisor development program. Fortunate enough to be in the position I am today. I'm currently with Merrill Lynch Wealth Management as a financial advisor, still in the development program, but again, happy to be where I'm at today.
Awesome. Yeah. We got a few different questions for today's episode, but yeah, I guess we can start with uh how did you discover your profession, like financial advising? I know a lot of people find it in different ways. I've had my fair share of interviews for financial advisor positions,
Yeah.
but yeah, how did you find it, Matt?
Yeah, I think part of it is just, kind of my upbringing as well. I've always wanted to help people, always loved, like, treat people how you would like to be treated. And, never thought I'd be a doctor or anything like that. That's the ultimate goal. But
Yeah.
within my realm, I found that being also half first generation. My mother was born here, but my father came from Brazil, so
Yeah.
kind of that financial literacy aspect of things wasn't taught to him. And then again, with my mother, she born and raised in Patterson, New Jersey, and so still have family out there, and just like practicing and teaching that financial literacy has kind of been big to me growing up, like learning how I could help my you know help anyone out that has any questions. But then, yeah, so circling back to college, I was a finance major, and I just always wanted to help people. And then, financial advising is that kind of opened the doors for me to that, because I still help people achieve their financial goals. And it's something that you might not be thinking of today, but it's something that needs to be done someday.
Yeah.
Retirement is the big goal, but everyone has little other goals, and everyone is unique in what they're trying to achieve. So part of it is just talking, most of it is listening, and just implementing what we know to do, which is the financial tools that we have today. So again, how I came about this is I've always wanted to help people. I'm good with numbers. I love working with numbers and just planning. So put that all together, financial advisor just made the perfect sense for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you're already doing so much stuff with finance. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
finance and then assistance. Yeah, it kind of gives a little bit of
Yeah.
both.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Actually,
Exactly.
that's a good, like, passion is to be, like, wanting to help people. Something I realized, because, like, even something as small as where I work at, Sam's, just giving people food at the cafe, it's still, like, helping someone out with that. Even helping people out, figuring out how to order, because we don't have a working register right now, so you order through an app. Most people are
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to use this, or they'll be
Yeah.
like, do I have a number, or like, how am I supposed to get my food? It's like, actually, it's I have to explain a lot of stuff, so but being like helpful about it usually helps, because then they're a lot. They'd be like frustrated, but then if I'm like understanding and give them time, and they're usually be like, oh, like, thank you. And like there's times when someone was
Yeah.
rude, and after he got his food, he's like, I'm actually really sorry. Like I was just really frustrated, but thank you for helping me out. And like
Yeah.
that's what it's great. Especially it's like my
Yeah.
thought process is like I'm gonna be there anyway all day. Might as well help other people have like a better day.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I,
I,
I couldn't
I
agree more. Yeah. Go ahead,
yeah.
Chris.
I also help people every day.
Yeah.
Because I'm in banking, so I'm more on Matt's side of helping
Yeah.
people. It's kind of
Which I mean
similar,
that makes
but
sense because you guys were in similar majors and stuff during school.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, I was a marketing major, so uh, financial advisor always comes up a lot when you look up marketing entry level marketing roles for some reason.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it is self marketing, so it definitely helps. But being a personal banker is very similar to financial advisor. You're helping out people a lot. Um, even though, yeah, I'm mostly on the teller line, I do have to do stuff behind the desk, help people out, opening accounts, opening
Mhm.
keys, opening credit cards,
Yeah.
like I did yesterday. I
Yeah,
told
this is the first
Ryan,
one.
yeah, I got my first credit card yesterday to in the
Nice.
application. So
Nice.
that was awesome. Great feeling to help someone out. Get a different line of credit, a different you know source of credit
Spending.
for them. Yeah, and another relationship building with the bank.
Hmm.
It's always a good thing.
I almost worked with financial advisory. I wasn't an advisor, but I had a short position with like an assistant, an administrative assistant. It didn't work because they were in Michigan and I was
Mhm.
still
Oh
here.
yeah,
And
I
like,
forgot about that.
yeah, because it was really hard to train me on everything when I spent like only a couple days in Michigan and I spent most of the time down there. So it overall didn't really work out. But it was very interesting to see a lot of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's very not it's not overly complicated, but at the same time, like kind of what Chris you were saying, like, oh, marketing majors probably get it too, when they're looking for jobs. Is it because you don't need like a finance degree to go
Mm.
into be a financial advisor? Because like
yeah,
I mentioned, most of it is listening and it's helping people. You will learn along the way. It's definitely important. You have to get licensed and everything. But
yeah,
like you don't have to be knowing sharp ratios and alphas and betas and all that to like help someone out as best as they can. Because like I said, some people are more complicated and some people are less complicated what they're trying to achieve. And it's just that's part of the listening aspect to cut through what you need to listen to and how you can help them the most. And kind of like what you said, Ryan, like when you get like the thank yous from the clients and like they show appreciation, that
yeah,
honestly makes my I still have with me like when I was at the bank because that's how I started. I started as a financial advisor at the Bank of America.
uh,
Um, I would talk to this person like day over day, like once or twice a week, and they kept on pushing off. Like I know I have to do something with the funds I have. I know, and then one day, after I'm calling them, reaching out to them, they finally say yes, let's
yeah.
do it. It takes less than 30 minutes to do what they had to do. Then a week later, they come back to the bank and give me like a little thank you card.
Hmm.
Like I was on the
Oh
phone and
wow.
they just slipped it by me and just waved and left the bank. They didn't even come for anything at the bank. They just came to
They
drop
just
off
came.
the
Oh, that's
Oh,
yeah. That
that's
means
yeah.
they
really
really
nice.
appreciated that.
Yeah, I still have it
Yeah,
with me because I was like, this is part of what I want to do, and like this meant like a lot to me. Like it was something small, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's why I got into what I do. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
going off
I guess.
that.
Mhm.
Oh, you can go, Brian.
Oh no, I was gonna say because I still remember sometimes when like, even one time when I worked at a baseball stadium and I showed a lady where the napkins were and she was like,
Oh, you went me. Yeah, your mic. But yeah, I mean, um,
"Can you guys?"
yeah, you're
Yeah,
good
Now I
now.
can, yeah.
dryer it likes to unplug itself randomly. But yeah, there are times when like I've helped someone out and they're really like it was something really simple and I still can remember like moments like that, and it's been like
Yeah,
years.
yeah. I
Yeah.
would say also it's working in a bank. Matt, you probably saw if you were there during the holiday season.
Yep.
Every all the customers bring stuff in.
Yeah.
We got so many cakes and cookies and sweets and everything from the last over the holidays while I was there, and it was
Of course.
crazy. And yeah, I mean it so much so that like the relationships you build, especially in banking and financial advisor, being a financial advisor, like you definitely build up those relationships with your clients. And you know on the flip side, negative, when something negative happens in their life, like it they'll come to you and tell you about it. We just had a customer. uh his dad was all, or his parents are also customers, and came
Yeah.
in last week or 2 weeks ago, and told us that his dad just passed away. So it
Wow.
was
Yeah.
like that's the flip side of it. But, building those relationships up definitely, makes it easier for you to tell those people that type of thing.
Hmm. Exactly. It's all about relationship building, and again,
Yeah.
that's why it's always listening. So just how you can help them,
Yeah.
and just being available for when they need help, and you're the expert. You know what to do. You're just waiting for
Yeah.
the green light, essentially.
Yeah. That's definitely everything, the interviews I had for being a financial advisor and, being in the bank now, that's everything they, always tell you is, you gotta listen. You gotta uh you're you're the you're the expert, so
Yeah.
you need they're not necessarily the expert, so they don't necessarily know what they want, so you just gotta,
Yeah.
weave it in somehow.
It's yeah, and everyone is totally different because,
Yeah.
like again, I could talk about this all day because literally what I do, but everyone's different. The 76-year-old that, her income is from Social Security and whatever
Yeah.
else, maybe a pension, is different than the 35-year-old doctor that's trying to retire when he's 50. You know what I mean? Like everyone's
Yeah.
different what they're trying to achieve. So it's always good to know, it's you have to be like a jack of all trades. You have to know
Yeah.
short-term goals, how to manage that, medium-term goals, long-term goals. And it gets a little bit more complicated like that. But again, like working with a good team, like my team, we have a personal banker as well. So
Yeah.
having those resources and uh, each have their own expertise really helps the clients at the end of the day, and that's what we do. That's what we're here for. So to
Yeah.
help them out.
Yeah, I mean, when I opened the credit card, the customer was like, "Oh, thanks so much for helping me out." Blah blah blah. I was like, "It's what I'm here for." Like, of
Yep.
Like
course,
literally.
it's actually what I'm here for. um, but I guess, Ryan, do you want to go to the next question?
Yeah, of
Um,
course. Which
yeah,
is so next up is about how finances play a part in your everyday life. I guess that
Hmm.
can be both in your everyday life or just in the everyday life. I guess it's obvious how it goes in your everyday life is that you work
Yeah.
in a financial, but you
institution.
can touch on that. But there's also the everyday life of any person, really.
Yeah, I mean, like again, I think just almost rule of thumbs, if you will, is you have earned income coming in
Yeah.
on a biweekly or weekly basis, depending on your job. It's just
Yeah,
managing, how much you can spend. Because I talk to my clients like, I'm not going to tell you don't enjoy that $100 dinner once a week if you want to. Let's, you still have to be
yeah,
alive. You still have things you want to do. But it's always you got to think of long term. It's so easy to fall like tunnel vision to the now and present. But it's always good, like you know, even today with direct deposits, you could split some go directly to your savings, so you don't even see it in your checkings, like
yeah,
mental tricks like that. But why I mentioned that is you always want to put, for me, I try to do like from my salary, like at least 15-20% each paycheck just into a savings. Then once you accumulate a certain amount in savings, you always want to keep 3 to 6 months emergency funds, depending on what that range looks like for everyone else. But then you also
yeah,
want your money to grow. You open up
yeah,
an IRA if you don't have one already. Um, Traditional Roth varies. We could have a conversation about that. What makes the most sense for you,
yeah,
but also a brokerage account. You want your money to grow. That's a taxable account, so be wary of that. Uh, all depends. And at the end of the day, investments aren't guaranteed. You have to live within your means. And so it's
yeah,
not me telling you to put everything into the market, but you know, put 3 to 6 months emergency funds in a savings account. We're young. I would,
yeah,
invest what you can into the market. If you want to start slow, maybe ETFs, then you could start holding single equity holdings, if you will.
yeah,
But it's baby steps. Everyone's on their own different course in life. Everyone has different goals. But I tell my clients, wealth is not built overnight. It's
yeah,
consistency over time makes a big impact. So whether it's 15 to 20%, whether it's 5% they put away, always put some money away in the savings because you never know when the rainy days do come.
yeah,
But I think for like living the day to day life, that's pretty much it. You still have to live, still go out with your friends and enjoy those dinners and go travel. but always keep money on the side just for, you never know what life throws at us. So that's all I would say to that.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like
all about
you,
managing.
Matt.
Yeah. Again, everyone's different, but just a rule of thumb. I think the 3 to 6 months of savings, like emergency fund savings, typically like your rent and then
Yes.
groceries and necessities, whatever that might be. Let's just say it's 2,000 or whatever, and then keeping around 6 to even 12,000 in a savings. Because
And
again,
kind of
at the end
like
of the day,
if you like lost your income, if something went wrong with that,
Yeah.
you'd still be able to live for. You'd still have a period to figure out whatever problem that was and get back on track,
Yeah.
sort of.
exactly. Like I think a big one is like you have a car, and like a lot of people don't think about car expense if your car just decides to die the next day.
Yep.
You got to pay for it. You got to go to get it repaired. They give you like a 1,500, $2,000 bill, and you're like, okay, I have it, I'm good, and I can still progress in my life, or pause life. How am I going to figure this out? You know what I mean? Do I add it to the
Yeah.
credit card with the 27% APR, or where am I getting this funds from?
Yeah.
So that's part of like again what I do is the financial planning aspect. So that's why it's important to keep
Yeah.
minimum, I think, three months of expenses in the savings because you never know.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. I mean, it is obviously I know people, like the savings and everything and I know IRAs and CDs are kind of similar in rates right now and they're honestly not the best. Um
Yeah. But I will
yeah,
say you mentioned a great point too. And if you're putting your money in something, I would always try to do a high yield savings,
yeah,
if you can, to money market mutual fund or treasuries if you're, have the brokerage account, but at least the minimum high yield savings. I think all banks, doesn't matter what bank you go to, most of them
yeah,
is like your checking savings 0.01%. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
just the bare minimum, at least a high yield savings, keep up with inflation, and then yeah, take it from there.
yeah. Definitely. I think those are all great advice. I guess this is coming from me just because,
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna say
in
it's like
banking.
it's kind of your
Uh,
question,
it is my question, but I mean,
both literally and also
a lot of people do
spiritually.
don't a lot of people don't know the difference between banking and financial advising. When you go into a financial advisor and when you go into, you know, a community bank who doesn't necessarily have a financial advisor there, what would you say are the biggest differences?
Well, a bank without a financial advisor, um, it's big because I mean you could talk about I don't want to say ethical, but like the legal standpoint is that bankers
Yeah.
can't talk about non-FDIC insured products. So you know what I mean? There's that whole thing. But going to the bank, it's great. You still got mortgages, credit lines. I don't know, custom lending, whatever it may be. Foreign currency exchange. If you're going to a bank, again, the service is there at the banks, which is still great, and you're getting that one-on-one with the actual banker, who again knows everything within the bank, which is great. I would say what's different with us is, like I just mentioned, we deal mainly with non-FDIC insured products. So your money is not insured by the government. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
SIPC insured, but it's not FDIC insured. So it's different. I every time I have a meeting, I have to give the disclosure. I give it with my eyes closed. I might be saying it in my sleep that that investment products are not FDIC insured or government entity insured. These are not obligations or guaranteed by yada yada yada. You know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
the most important part of that is investments do carry investment risk, including possible loss of investment principal. So you're dealing with people's money in a market that, you know, knock on wood, but they could lose it all. So
Yeah.
that's I think just the main borderline difference is we're taking a bigger risk, but again, risk if you draw a big bubble, like how can we reduce that bubble? And there's different tools you use, different instruments, whether again,
Mhm.
treasuries, we still have access to CDs, but
Yeah.
depending on what the person's trying to achieve versus yeah, let's put it all in X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's how it's different. But I think a financial advisor needs a good bank because all clients need banking at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
uh, like I mentioned, I'm fortunate. I have a great banker that I'm paired with. So if my clients ever need, like you said, credit cards, any questions about, the services they get with Bank of America, PIN numbers, checks, whatever it may be, wires, they're going to take care of it. And that's just, at the end of the day, serves the client the best. So that, the only, again, bottom line difference is investments. At the end of the day, we're still trying to do what's best for the client. So not much difference there.
Yeah, no, that is the big thing. No matter what financial advisor or banker, we're always trying to do what's best for the client, but
Yeah.
what's best for the bank as well, because we definitely have, as bankers, you definitely have to do what's best for the bank as well. But client in any customer facing role, Ryan,
Yeah.
you probably know this as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
The customer is always right.
Mhm.
Um,
I mean, honestly, sometimes they're not.
but sometimes they're not.
Because
Especially in banking, they are definitely not always right.
maybe now it's sometimes people accidentally order the wrong thing, and I'm like, I should get 2 hot dogs, and it's like the receipt is 1 hot dog and 1 additional soda, and I'm like, yeah, you only paid for 1 hot dog, sir. And then there's sometimes they've gotten really mad at me for being like, "Where's my other hot dog?" It's like, see right there. I'm really sorry to tell you, but I don't have another hot dog to give you. You didn't pay for it.
Yeah, you didn't pay for it. Yeah. But I mean, I know that that's something, everybody says, but,
But I mean,
definitely in banking, I've learned, a lot of the time the customer doesn't know what they're talking about, but not in a bad way. It's just that, most
Well, that's
people,
what we're here for. We're here to help.
yeah.
I mean, it's also like I think it's usually just about if a customer if they want, you're supposed to help out a customer. You can't be like you have to be understanding and helpful to the customer.
Yeah, you can't be rude.
You have to be on the customer's side. I feel like that's what that means essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like, this might be a bad example, but it's like you go to a doctor's office because you're the customer, you're the client, and you tell him, I'm sick, I have the Black Plague. You know what I mean? Just because of my
Yeah.
own diagnostic. And the doctor is supposed to tell you truthfully, you do not have the Black Plague. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The customer
Yeah.
isn't always right. It's not, this is what you have, and this is the
Yeah.
solution to cure what you have. And
Yeah.
that's kind of, again, it's like, because again, I was at the bank too, like Chris, you mentioned. I wasn't dealing too much with banking needs, but the client would be like, if I was signing someone up with like a promo, they like, it's been the 6 months. Where is that, promo is offered? And I tell them, client, like, I understand, yes, I agree, you
Changes.
should have this promo, but when we look here, you didn't do this part that was part of it. It was clearly stated in the account opening process. So it's just kind of, and you want to help them, but
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta just be honest, straight up to the client if it's something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, the client, I
Yeah,
think,
I
it's
know
tough.
we're having trouble because the rates have been fluctuating a lot with CDs and everything. So we're having trouble keeping money in our bank because our rates aren't
So,
great.
so the cash flow of the bank, are they going to a different bank or are they just holding it?
Mo-
Like, what's happening?
Most of the time they're a lot of our customers have been just closing the CD and just putting it back into their checking accounts.
Are they waiting for like higher rates?
Yeah, mostly because there are banks right now giving 4% APY. We're giving our best rate is 3 for 12 months.
Oh,
Like,
it's
yeah.
funny. I don't know if me and my coworkers are talking about this. I don't know if you guys saw like Moo. That's like, it's not. Moo is not a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? But Moo's like, I was on the subway and I saw they were giving like bold letters, 8% APY for idle cash. And
Jeez.
no, that's literally what we said. Like, what are they on to be offering
Yeah.
8%? You look at a five print, it's like you get like additional like 5% or like a 4.5% APY for like 2 months, and it goes down to 3.7, which is still great or whatever it was,
Yeah.
or 3.45. But You know, it's funny, Chris, because it's almost like I'm in my head. I'm like, yo, send them my way, bro, because I already know what to say to them. Because it's like, because rates are not going to go higher anytime soon.
No, no,
That's what I think personally. But
no.
I
I
think,
mean, our rates did go up a little bit from when I started,
yeah,
because we were at like I think our 12 months was at 2.7 or something, and now it's like
yeah,
3. So, and
yeah,
then yeah, it's. I mean, some of them have been fine. I mean, we also have been having the trouble with our system as well. Like our system will glitch and it will give the say like a customer has a 7-month promo.
yeah.
It will glitch, say it's a 6-month term, and then give it like an 8 or the 7-month promo rate. And we're
Oh
like,
wow.
no, 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 no. That's not right.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because
No, 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 no,
that
no.
that's not right.
No. But it's funny, but with that one, it's hard, it is also hard to be like, yeah, our rates suck.
I think that's the issue with just banks overall. Their money's not in CD rates. You know what I mean? Their money's
No.
in fees, credit card fees,
Oh yeah.
interests. That's where the money
We
is, mortgages. So yeah, they if people rate shopping, it's 9 times out of 10 the better rates in the market, but that's a whole monster. A lot of people don't want to deal with. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's tough. I get it.
yeah. Do we want to go to the questions or the next topic, Ryan?
Let's go for the questions. I say
All
that
right,
sounds good.
questions. You can ask the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So I guess what are the most important things for young people to know about, like currently, like if you're a young person, if you want to start taking care of your finances, what do you say are the most important things to start figuring out?
If you're young, like young, I want to talk to the high schoolers going to college right now.
Yeah.
Like if you're there, you're 18, like you can hopefully you're working, definitely open the IRA. If you want to start with the Roth, perfectly fine. You just need to be working. Earned income is necessary for an IRA. Roth is the pre-tax. Uh, no, sorry. Roth is post-tax. Traditional IRAs are the pre-tax, and they're tax deductible. But you're young. You're not in a high tax bracket. Just start with the Roth. Later on, it won't get. It's taxed now. It's not gonna get taxed when you take it out later. Your contribution. So I would say definitely one, open a Roth IRA. Two, open a CMA, or that's what we call it, but a brokerage account. Uh, so open those two accounts. Thirdly, I'd say open a high yield savings. You want to always be general. You always want your money working for you, even if it's sitting idly in cash. And you're going to college. You have you're going to have a student. You may or may not have student loans. So that's just something later on a deferred a goal of yours to take care of. But yeah, you work whatever it is, whatever you could again safely put into the market after you saved up an emergency fund. I would just say go ahead and start investing. And I think what's most important and what's kind of different here is that yeah, I would encourage you to take a little bit more risk because you can afford it. Not telling you like, risk is subjective to everyone,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna stick with market risk. Like I'm not saying crypto, I'm not saying any of that. If you want to do that, go ahead. But like maybe, you know, I don't want to give any recommendations, but just because it's a popular one, like NVIDIA, for example.
Yeah.
Uh, Imagine we were like in 2018, we're like, like, maybe AI is the future. Or, you know what I mean? Maybe chips are
Yeah.
that
We
important. Let me throw
we
some money
probably
here.
should have.
You know,
Like all of us in like our age bracket probably should have done that because
yeah.
we would have had at least something in our investments.
But
Hmm.
I think like again, like take on the risks that you could absorb, and then
Yeah.
just consistency over time is makes a big impact. I think that's just the goal. Whatever you can. I'm not telling you $1,000, $1,500, whatever it may be. If it's $50, if it's $20, you're throwing into an investment account, buying fractional shares of a company you love. That's why I'd encourage. Definitely diversify, but start there. And guys, for people our age, we have different expenses now. Maybe you have student loans still, and then now you're paying for rent, and you're paying for groceries, and you're paying healthcare coming up. You know what I mean? It's stacking up, and it's just you just trying to live within your means, and you need your money to grow. That's why circling back to the high yield savings, you need it liquid still, but you need it to grow, and you need to be invested in the market. And you could reduce the risk you take with ETFs and index funds, but again, it's the market is never win. There's always some losses, so we have to. That's why it's consistency. Be disciplined with your, if you're making monthly contributions, stick with it, but make monthly contributions that make most sense for you. And I think that's just how to go about it.
Yeah. Lucky that, luckily for me luckily for us working for banks, it's a little bit easier to, see some of those things. But
I will say, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's literally, so that's it. It's the fact that I know, I tell my client, the people who are my clients, they're prospects at first. It's just I know this wasn't what you're thinking of, and this probably still isn't a priority of yours, but it will become it when it's. Do you want it to be an issue when it's right in your face, or do you want to be taken care of already? We're already ready for that issue to come, and so it's just important to understand the financial plan of things. And like you said, it's just it's what we do every day. I go in every day. I'm looking at the market, how the portfolio doing, what are the rates looking like, what's the best rates for my clients, what could I get them out of, and people are doing what they do best. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a director for whatever company, they're not thinking of rates. They're not thinking of where to put their money. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
It's great you mentioned that. So I get it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is one of those things where it's a little bit easier because Matt and I work there, but work in the industry. But it's also it is nice that a lot of companies nowadays, people don't have to think about healthcare as much because it's already deducted from your payroll. It's one of those deductions. It sucks when you look at your payroll. When you look at your pay stub, it sucks to see how much gets taken out.
Yeah.
But I know because I've just started healthcare, so but it's also nice to know that I don't have to think about it. It's also nice to know, I luckily have a bank and a company that has a IRA offering for us for our employees.
Nice.
So I enrolled as soon as I could into my 401k as well.
That's great. I tell everyone.
I don't even have to think about it.
I always go for a company's match. That's money on the table. Too. Oh my gosh! If you're not contributing to a 401k, I would say the bare minimum. If your company's offering you a 3% match, just match it. It's even a small tax write-off if you're doing pre-tax contributions. So it might not make a huge deal depending on your contribution rate, but your company's matching you with that. That's you're doing 3%, now you have 6%. That's pretty awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For your retirement savings, why not?
It's awesome. It is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I guess the next question we have, kind of similar vein of what we were talking about before. It's
honestly, all the questions kind of blend
together.
Yeah.
Together. They all kind of go together.
No, question 3 is actually, we just did question 3 essentially.
So essentially we did, yeah. But question 2 is...
It was question 3 was, what is financial advice you would give to younger viewers? Which is...
basically what we would do. We can change it up. But what...
Question 2.
Question 2 is when do you think it's appropriate for, I guess either parents or, people to start talking about finances?
Yeah, like say you had a baby in front of you. How long are you gonna wait to do something financial for that?
If I had a baby, my baby or a baby?
A hypothetical, there was a child that was just there in the world. When you say, "Hey kid, start taking care of your finances."
Okay. Classic. I think the classic scenario, the lemonade stand, when the little kid has a lemonade
Oh.
stand, kind of the principles of business. It's going
Yeah.
to cost you X amount to run this lemonade stand, and you pay for the lemons, the sugar, and the water, and the jug and everything, and you get the stand, and all the money made in that day isn't we have to deduct the expenses. Yeah, that. But I think in general, it's when they. I mean, that's a good point. If they're 7 or 8 and they're starting to make money, even if you're a family that like your kid loses a tooth and you slip him like a tooth fairy, like
Tooth fairy money.
tooth fairy is
Yeah.
very real, by the way, to the younger viewers out there. But
Very,
like,
very real.
they get the $5 or whatever from the tooth fairy, and what do they do with that $5? Buy
Yeah.
candy. You know what I mean? But like, and I'm not telling you to tell the kid don't have fun, don't be a kid, but like, hey, someday, five of your teeth fell out this week. Now you have $25. You're gonna spend all $25 in a day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about pacing yourself and putting something away so you could maybe open up that lemonade stand in spring and not only in the summer. I think that would be a good point. I think for like people overall, being the adult, like let's just say like my kid, for example, if I had a kid, open a 529. That's for college expenses. Not
Yeah.
only for college, but higher education, whatever that's private school. It could help for those expenses on a tax-free basis. But you're helping your kid out, and maybe let's just say they're like 16 or 15. I want them to have a sense of of the market. They will have an account already, but maybe when they're,
Yeah.
as soon as they make earned income, great, that's great. Now let's talk about how to make this money grow. So I think that's like kind of a rule of thumb.
Yeah. I actually had a customer. We had a customer like a couple weeks ago open up a savings account for their
Mm.
baby, their 2-month-old baby.
Listen, well, a savings account, yeah, yeah, no, 100%. I think I see it all the time too, and it's important because, like, you know, I'm not gonna say unfortunate, but like, I didn't have that growing up. You know what I mean? But I do
Yeah.
have. I know plenty of people, like my even friends of mine. Their parents bought Amazon and like Microsoft and just gave it
Dang.
to them. They were born 2000. Bought you like 10 shares each. Now let's just let it grow
Yeah.
because back then it wasn't what it is now. But
Yeah.
that's kind of like it's a kind of funny because like the baby, like age 0, if you will, like they can take on all the risk
Yeah.
in the world. They can, it doesn't matter if
Yeah. They can
it's a
put on
boom or not.
anything.
They have plenty of time to rebound. But yeah, I think that's a rule of thumb. Just like that, and that's just this is all financial literacy. Is like, oh, I didn't know I could open an account for a baby. You can. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
just part of it. People don't know that you
Yeah.
can open
Yeah.
an investment account for a baby. They probably won't be the main owner. That might be like
Yeah. Custodial account.
custodial accounts or Utmost, whatever it is. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just part of people don't know these things, and it's part of just financial literacy, honestly.
Yeah. Definitely. I would say financial literacy is something, that we're lacking as a country. Um,
People know. I feel like it should be more widespread, and
yeah.
that's why I do like working with like people who maybe like didn't have the financial literacy background, just because they're passing their knowledge to their kids growing up as well, and I
Yeah.
think that's just part of it. It's just let's just all work in this together, and the investment market doesn't have to be as scary as it sounds,
No.
because you've been in it without you even knowing. So.
Yeah. All right. Ryan, do you want to? We can change the last question. We can make it 2 parts.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, first, I would say, what would you say is some financial advice you'd give to, the entrepreneurs of the world, like, kind of like what Ryan and I are doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
Someone trying to be their own boss kind of deal.
yeah. And then part two, or completely different part, but it's a second
From the
part.
same,
It's
yeah.
the same type of question. What would you now, as a 25, 26-year-old, give yourself financial advice as like, a freshman in high school?
Yeah. Um, okay, I'll start with the first one. Well, what you guys are doing already is great, and it's funny because I want to be like, I'm actually doing something as well that's kind of like I want to be my own boss in a way. So it's
Yeah.
like, first, it's always you're taking a risk, and I think what's most important, the younger you are, the more risk you take. So like we're young, so we can. You want to be your own boss, be your own boss. If
Yeah.
all else fails, you're young. You'll get back into the market, no problems about it. I think so. I think I would say that is take the risk, do what you want to do, and just because part of it is you don't want to have any regrets. You
Yeah.
want to be able to say you did do it, and this is what I've done so far. And there's no real financial advice I'd give to that. It's just, I mean, it circles back to what I've been saying. You have the emergency funds in case everything all else
Mhm.
fails.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have an investment account. Of course, you don't want to. The whole point is not to pull from your funds, but if you
Yeah.
need to, we could talk about ways to pull from the funds. But it's just it's definitely taking on your risk. And what I was saying about that, like I'm trying to do that as well as in like I've been getting into basketball cards. So I've
Oh.
been buying a lot of basketball cards and I won't be my own
Okay.
boss because I want to go to like the trading card shows and start selling them.
Oh, nice.
And yet mainly I guess business point of view, like I'm doing this, but at the same time I'm just collecting Knicks players from my own personal collection. And I'm trying to see. I have like I'm trying to see if I have my book right next to me. I think
Awesome.
I think like Chris, you might like this one. So Kevin McCullough signature I got at
Oh,
a card
wow.
show, and it's like
Nice.
I won't like it's not worth like a lot of money. He's like a rookie or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like for me, it makes me happy. But like getting those cards and selling it to other people, because at the end of the day too, it's also like it's what I'm happy with it, and just doing
Yeah.
what you like to do, what you're happy with. I'm just like go for it, man. That's what I would say to that.
Yeah.
And then can you just what I would say to myself in high school? Was that the second
Yeah,
question?
like a
Yeah, like what
freshman.
is your financial advice you'd give that you've learned as an adult that you would give to yourself? You wish you knew when you were younger, kind of.
Oh my gosh, it's just save. Like I did not save at all in high school. Like I would
Yeah.
Oh
uh
yeah, same.
just saving, which is again perfectly fine, but yeah, I would just the newest soccer cleats, newest basketball cleats. I wanted it like, and I would work and but like I've always had like that emergency fund mindset. Like okay, I have X amount of my savings. That's cool. But then it's like when I got to that point, then like everything else was like to drain it back down to that point, which is not a healthy mindset. So like let's just say in high school, like oh I have like 2,000 in my savings, but and I get another like 1,000. The mindset shouldn't be let me just stay above 2,000. It's no, let me try to get to 3,000, and then let me
Yeah.
try to save to 4,000. My mindset is like I'm 2,000, I'm happy. You know what I mean? That's cool with me. Let me go do this
Yeah.
that. So
So
I'd
it's
say
try to grow, sort of like keep focusing on growing your money
Instead
and
of,
not just thinking about as
uh,
yeah.
free fun money. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
exactly. People I like and listen. I'm not perfect. I do not want to get like no. Like I still get comfortable with where I'm at too. I think being comfortable is it's tough, and I think the cliche growth saying is like to grow you have to be uncomfortable. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations,
Yeah.
and part of it is just like yeah, it's like I'm comfortable here. 2000's nice or whatever in high school. Like no, but if I like had this mindset when I was in high school, oh my god, I'd be so happy. I'd have so much more money. Like it would be amazing. But
Yeah.
no. Yeah, so I would give myself that. Just like keep on growing. Keep on growing. It doesn't always have to be in the market, no matter what it is. If you're contributing to the account, let it keep on growing. So that's all I'd say.
Yeah, it's good to stay afloat, but you could rise.
Exactly.
Awesome. Do we have anything else, Ryan? And yes, I know I forgot to put it on, so I put it on now.
Oh, I thought I saw that. I was like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wasn't on the whole time.
No, it was not going the whole time. I just put it on. So
I know, I
that's a
think-
little Easter egg for all of the people who want to see the video. The video is that I just randomly turned on our banner.
Yes, 'cause
in like the
we
last
have it.
15 seconds
Yeah.
of the episode.
Yeah,
Timestamp
so-
it in the comments chat.
Yeah.
Timestamp it.
Yeah, timestamp it.
I can
Timestamp
do
it.
that.
Let me know if you guys noticed the change. But I think if that's it, that's the episode. So thank you, Matt, for coming on again and talking with us. For being here. Thank you all for listening. Comment, like, subscribe, do all the things YouTubers tell you to do. As always, our social media links and Matt's social media links will be down in the description below. There are also the tags for us are scrolling on the ticker, which is what I turned on. Goodbye. This podcast was a production of McCurdy Studios. Our intro outro music is from pixabay.com. Thank you guys and peace out.